Hey guys, welcome to our Monday night call. And my name is Fallon Black, and I am a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus. And Brittany Howard, Emerald Ambassador, is here. And we are going to share with you kind of what our journey looked like at the beginning. And it was a lot different than how we look now as Jules, as you're going to find out. But I really want to talk about um, a couple things that people will say. They will say that Plexus was a different opportunity back when we got started. And they'll make excuses as to why they're not successful today. And I'm here to tell you that if there was ever an excuse to not be successful, we had it back when we started. We were not naturals at this. We literally had no clue what we were doing. And there was basically no training available. So we were kind of on our own. So we are going to start by talking about the timing of the company. So I've been asked a couple of times this week, like, is Plexus the same opportunity now as when you guys got started? And Brittany joined me, I think, the first month that I joined Plexus, and she was my first preferred customer who turned into an ambassador. And yeah, it's definitely a way better opportunity now, but Brittany's going to give you some mind-blowing numbers that she was sharing with me on a call a couple days ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome, like getting me even more on fire for what we have in our hands and how amazing this opportunity is. So Brittany, you want to go ahead and share that stuff with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So numbers speak to my soul, guys. And I was just doing some math, and we have, I think, about 615,000 ambassadors currently. Most of those are wholesalers. But if you consider how many people live in America, there's over 400 million. And out of those 615,000 ambassadors, a lot of those are from Canada and Australia, but just say they were all Americans, okay? Just say that the whole entire number of ambassadors lived in America. That's still like a very small fraction of 1%. It's like 0.001% of people in America that have joined Plexus, okay? And there's probably more than that that are customers. But guys, it's still less than, like, way less. We're not even close to 1% of Americans on these products, okay? And so the timing is right. Like, it could not be better because it's not so new that nobody has ever heard of it and everybody's super skeptical. The word is getting out, but the market is nowhere near saturated, guys. We are just scratching the surface. And so you couldn't be in Plexus at a better time than you are right now. And Plexus will continue to be a great opportunity 10 years from now or 20 years from now. Plexus will still be a great opportunity when my kids are grown, because we're always on the cutting edge. We always are adding new breakthrough products and things like that keep this as a great opportunity. But right now, guys, you want to be one of the first 500 diamonds, because that is when the millionaires are made, okay? And we only have currently, like, Fallon, 110 diamonds or something like that? Yeah. It's a very small amount, and we add about 10 diamonds a year. So you are still in the prime time of joining network marketing. Do you hear that echo, Fallon?
Sorry, I had somebody unmuted themselves. Okay.
And then another number that really spoke to me was the number of people that earned Leaders Retreat. So the people that earn Leaders Retreat, those are the people that are working their business really hard, really consistent, just really trying to grow their businesses. And there's only like 3,000 people that earn this trip, okay? And so what that means is, out of the 400 million Americans, we only had 3,000 people earn Leaders Retreat. And of course, there's probably several more that were really close to earning it. They are working hard. They were really close to earning it. They didn't quite make it, or they had just joined and they didn't have enough time to earn it, things like that. So, I mean, even if you would want to say 5,000, out of 615,000 ambassadors, only about 5,000 are working really hard to make a career out of this. Guys, that is a mind-blowing number to me. So that lets you know where you're at in the market. You really should put your head down and run with this opportunity.
Yep, and that's exactly what Brittney and I did. And just to hear all of those numbers now, I mean, it's an incredible opportunity, and it's not one that we took for granted. When you think about joining a network marketing company, you do not want to join a baby brand spanking new company. It was still pretty new when we joined 4 years ago, but the reason is because the products haven't stood the test of time. Nobody has any clue what it is. So you have to completely clear the land and lay the entire foundation. Like, all that work's been done for us. People have probably heard the word Plexus, or are at least getting familiar with gut health because it's such a big deal right now. So we didn't have any of that. We seriously were looking for people who wanted to lose weight. We did not have the testimonies we have now for all the things that Plexus is helping with. So to be in a company that is around 10 years old and has a solid foundation, but is still a ground floor opportunity, this is huge, you guys. Until you see 500 diamonds, we're a ground floor opportunity, okay? So no more saying the market's saturated. No more saying that I didn't join 4 years ago, or you got lucky, you got in at a good time. Y'all are still in at the prime time, okay? All of you, every one of you. And we're going to tell you why it's even better than when we joined. The other thing, so you can't blame the timing of the company, and you cannot blame your sponsor, okay? Our sponsor, well, I was Brittney's sponsor, but my sponsor was in California, and she had a really fast-growing team in Tennessee and thereabouts. But we did not have the training that you guys have. There were no Monday night training calls. There were no book studies. It was called order this book on Amazon. Here you go. I read it. It was good. And that's just what we had. So Brittney, do you want to say anything about, not blaming your sponsor and taking things into your own hands?
Yeah. I mean, I guess we always look for someone to blame. It's much easier to blame someone else than it is to look within ourselves, but there's no one else's name on your paycheck except your own, right? And so this is your business. You don't have to have an upline to be super successful. Now, a good upline helps. Obviously, a good leader can make a huge difference. But everybody, if you're on this call right now, you have phenomenal leadership, okay? We have a diamond upline who's on the leaders board every single week, and that is because she's got strong jewel leaders, right, and a fast-growing team. You have great leadership. And so definitely you have to look within and figure out, why am I not growing? Why are my points not going up? Why am I losing people? Whatever the case may be, it's something that you have to figure out, and it's not anybody else's job to do that but your own.
We just did not have this training like you guys have. Lori didn't have training. We didn't have training. Like, there was none of that. We were super coachable, though, and that's the key. If you do have a sponsor who will even get on the phone with you 30 minutes a week, and they know what they're doing in their business, and they're getting their information from me, from Brittney, from Cody, from Tiffany, listen to them. Be coachable. If I can preach one thing, it's be coachable. If they say get on the calls, get on the calls. Brittney and I never missed a call. If there was an opportunity to watch a training, we watched it that day. We were hungry for knowledge and for information, and hungry for this opportunity.
Yeah, we definitely did not try to reinvent the wheel. We were always looking to see who are the fastest growing leaders in the company and what are they doing and what can we learn from them. We didn't try to, go off on our own and do our own thing and let's see if this works or that works. We were super coachable, but we didn't implement just any old idea either. We only implemented what had been proven to work.
Yes. So we are going to share with you kind of what we did at the beginning as we were just floundering around. Some of y'all might feel like you're in this position too. Like, you need to get recruits, but you don't know where to find them. We are homeschooling moms in a tiny red light town. I had only lived there a year. I did not know anybody. I had barely any friends on Facebook. I met Brittany at a church that I visited, and we were just like trying to figure this thing out, and we weren't going to stop until we did. So we had a couple ideas of things that we thought would help us grow our businesses. And Brittany's going to talk a little bit about that. But I just want you guys to know, like, what you see here today, what you're going to see this week. Brittany and I both earned the shopping spree. Listen to the words out of her mouth as she tells you what we were doing to try and grow our businesses, okay? You just go ahead.
We were hungry is one way to say it. Desperate might be another. We really did recognize this opportunity for what it was, though, and we wanted it so bad. Like, we both wanted this to work. We knew what the other leaders in the company were earning, and we were just like, oh my gosh, we want to do that. We are ready to change our lives. And so because we were ready for that change, we were so ready for that change. We were willing to do some hard things.
Got it. You unmute you.
Okay. So we were willing to be uncomfortable and do some hard things because we were hungry for change in our lives. So you'll hear all the time, this is a simple business, and it is. It's just step A, B, C, and D, trust the process, do the work. This is what's going to happen. But it's not always easy. You're going to face rejection. You're going to have to do some things that are hard. You're going to have to get uncomfortable, okay? And so whenever we first started, neither one of us had any clue what we were doing, but we were willing to learn. And so we did learn. And anytime Lori would say, do this, we would go and do it. So one time Lori said, y'all need to go do weekly events. Go do local events, like live events in person. Go invite everybody. Go walk around your neighborhood and hand out flyers. Because Fallon was saying, well, we can do events, but where are we going to find the people? We don't know anybody. Neither one of us are from here. And even if we know people, there wasn't but a few people that live in this town. So we did exactly what she said, though. We printed out some flyers, and we walked around Fallon's neighborhood in the rain, and we knocked on people's doors. Half of them we would hand a flyer to. The other half we chickened out and we'd run away. We didn't know what to say. We had no clue what we were doing. But you know what? We did events, and we did like 4 or 5 with 0 attendees. Like, we showed up to that room and nobody else did. And we figured out, okay, this isn't working. We need to try something else. But we failed flat on our face with that, but we kept going. We didn't let it keep us down. So we just weren't growing as quickly as we saw everyone else in the company growing, or at least our uplines, our team, our sidelines. They were all flying to diamond. We're back here silver and gold, and we're trying to figure out, what are they doing that we're not? So one time Fallon called me, and she's like, okay, I got it. I got a brilliant idea. And I'm like, okay. She's like, this is it. This is what's going to help us. And I'm like, okay, what are we doing? She's like, we can go to McDonald's, we can put some wigs on, and we can stage a conversation. Like, we can stand in line like we're going to order our food, and I would just say, oh my gosh, Brittany, I lost 15 pounds this month. And then you just say, really, how? And I'll just be like, Plexus, have you heard of it? And I'm like, no, Fallon, no. Like, somebody has to draw the line somewhere. Like,
I was so serious.
We were just looking for where I guess people needed to lose weight. I don't know. Fallon was thinking that's where people go.
I'm thinking, of course, if we're at McDonald's, people want to lose weight, right? So we're all going to say, where do you get this Plexus stuff? And we're going to pass out the business cards and the flyers to the event, and everybody's going to come.
No, we didn't do it. We were not doing it. Somebody had to draw some boundaries. But anyways, we really did want this, and we tried everything. We were willing to try anything within reason, okay, not with McDonald's, but we tried a lot of other things that other people were successful doing. Like Sarah Marble, she was super successful doing live events. And she did them every single week, and she always had a good turnout, and we couldn't figure out why we did not, but we didn't let that stop us. So,
you know what? When I think back on all of it, I don't remember ever being discouraged or like, oh my gosh, I just want to give up, ever. As we sat at Panera and nobody showed up, or we had 2 people show up and they didn't join, we never thought like, I want to quit or I want to give up. We just kept going on to the next big idea. Like, surely we know we're going to be diamonds. What do we need to try next?
Mm-hmm. So we say all that to say we wanted you to just see where we have come from, because we've done some really dumb things, and some of them worked and some of them didn't. Most of them didn't, but we have figured out what worked, and we did it through 1, trial and error, and 2, through learning a ton. Like, we learned a ton, and we were not so prideful to think, oh, well, we just got this. We don't have to learn anything. Think about other 6-figure earners. Think of 3 professions just off the top of your head right now that earn over 6 figures a year, okay? And just consider how many years did they have to put their head in the books and learn their profession before they could ever even make a dime at it? Or even worse, how much debt did they get into before they could ever make a dime to recoup that cost, right? So usually people who make that amount of money, they are going into massive amounts of debt. They spend years and years educating themselves to learn their profession and things like that. And then they spend years and years paying the debt back. So $34.95 is what you paid to start this business. It came with a website, it came with a customer service department, a shipping department, and some life-changing products. Not only that, you just joined one of the fastest growing teams in the entire company, okay? So let that sink in for a minute. We went from making a couple $100 a month or even $1,000 a month as silver gold ambassadors to making over 6 figures in 1 year. And we didn't do it because we got lucky. We didn't do it because we just shared our story and hoped some people joined us. That's not how it works. There are some skills that you have to learn in order to be super successful. If you want to build big, you got to learn big. There's a lot of things you have to learn to get really good at this. Network marketing is one of the highest paid professions in the world. Some of the wealthiest people in the world either endorse or own network marketing companies. And anybody can do this. So it's worth your time and effort to learn the skills. And so, Fallon, you want to tell them what all we did to learn the skills?
Well, like we said at the beginning, for one, we didn't have the resources you guys had. What we had was Sonia Dudley and Sarah Marble. You can go to their YouTube channels and still watch everything that we watched to learn what we did. We talked to Lori when we could get a hold of her. She recommended some great books, and we're going to talk about those. But what we did was watch anything we could get our hands on from people who are on the leaders board, people who are successful. Y'all, Celeste Gwen, she joined the month I did, actually. She went Emerald in 4 months, which was not my story, but that's what I was competing with here. Like, that's what we saw. We listened to Celeste call, which is in the files of Pink Power, I think. This was before we had Zooms, y'all. Okay, making us sound ancient here. It's 4 years ago, but we had a telephone number we dialed into, and we listened to Celeste talk about how she had files in a file on her computer, and she would email them out to people. And we're like, okay, that's what we need to do. We need to email what Celeste is emailing. So we listened to every call over and over and over. And what we did as power partners was, if we heard a great call or watched a great video, we shared it with each other. So we had that constant support and constant passion and excitement and motivation from each other. We weren't discouraged or depressed. We were like, okay, what next? What can we learn next? And so there wasn't a lot of Plexus Jewel training. Like, you guys have Emily Roberts, you have Bridget Ryan, Amy Paul, Brooke Hemingway. I mean, the list goes on and on of tools and resources. So we listen to Sarah Robbins a lot, Rock Your Network Marketing Biz. She has DVDs, what is it called, Brittany? Rockstar
Recruiting School.
Rockstar Recruiting School, and then a second series of leadership ones. I remember I burnt the CDs for Brittany, and we listened to them over and over and over again.
Yeah, we did. And I was about to say something. I forgot what I was going to say. Keep going. It'll come to me.
Okay, so we listened to that over and over again. Anything we could get our hands on, that was a big one. That was really good. She talked about how to follow up, how to recruit. And for me especially, it was scary. Maybe it was for Brittany too, but it was scary to reach out and talk to people. Major introvert, homeschooled, didn't get out much. As a kid, as a teenager, as an adult, we lived on a farm. I had all my kids. Like, I didn't go talk to people. So it was really scary, but listening to things like Eric Worre's Home Mastery recruiting series, that was really life-changing. As I was going through a lot in my business and I wasn't hitting any of my goals at all for 18 months, that was what kept me motivated. Anytime we were in our van, I put it in and it was DVDs. My kids can quote back stuff from it because we listened to it over and over. And it's just a hodgepodge of network marketers, the highest earners in so many different companies, basically talking about how they were selling soap out of the back of their car because they were so hungry for the change in their life and this opportunity. And I would cry and I'm like, this is me. This is what I want. How do I do it? And I just didn't stop. It's called Home Mastery Series, something. It's on his website, GoPro. So those were two things that were outside of Plexus training, just basic MLM training that we did a lot with.
Yeah, I remember what I was going to say. You were talking about how Celeste had her files and like her emails, and when people would message her, she would just send the same thing. You know, it was just like copy and paste or whatever. So we always tried to imitate what really successful people were doing. But another thing we learned the hard way was that just because one person does it and it makes them successful doesn't automatically mean it's going to make us successful, right? Because we learned the hard way that this is a people business and it's about influence. And so influence isn't, you know, if you don't have influence. Celeste, she was just, her emails, they were nothing special. And when I sent them, I didn't get the same response, right? Because Celeste has been building influence for 3 decades before she started Plexus. And I've always been a stay-at-home mom. I've never had a huge network, didn't have a lot of influence or anything like that. And so what worked for me was not the same thing that worked for Celeste. And so we learned that this is really about, there's no like magic words or magic things that you can say. There are definitely things that help, but it's really just about how well you can connect with people. And so we read How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's going to be our next book study after we finish this color one. But that was one of the first books we read. And it's really just about becoming a student of people. This is a people business. And you definitely have to learn some people skills and learn how to love on people well. And that is something biblical anyway. That's something that, which I'm a Christian, and I'm sure a lot of you on this call are too. So you already know that you should be loving people. Like it's non-negotiable. It's a command. We need to love each other. And so that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, it's really practical about how to connect with people.
Mm-hmm. It is. So we had to realize when I joined, Sonia Dudley had went diamond in 10 months, and we analyzed everything like Brittany said, and we compared too, but we didn't let the comparison discourage us. It was always to motivate us. What can we do better? Right now, just being honest, Bridget Ryan, I am constantly stalking, like, how can I be a better storyteller like her? Like, her page engages me so much. I want to be Bridget Ryan. And I got a long ways to go. And I'm not like trying to be her clone or anything, but her posts are effective. She has recruited cold message, just cold market on Instagram is how she built her business. And that's something I would love to tap into. So look at people like we looked at Sonia Dudley hitting diamond in 10 months, Kristen Abar, all of that. And we're like, what are they doing that we're not? That's how we learned that they were selling triplexes. We were just selling swim. We're like, okay, slim. Okay, so now that we're not just selling slim and we're selling the triplex, we're kind of getting the hang of this thing. And our business started changing because we got off the weight loss and we were on total health. And we're selling this health system that was going to build us an organization. It wasn't just selling black bags of slim. So we had no clue. We just didn't know what we were doing. And I think the biggest thing is just not being discouraged. And watching all the trainings that we have available, not blaming your upline, and just being hungry. I felt like we were eating, sleeping, breathing Plexus because we wanted it so bad. But even when we doubted ourselves and didn't believe in ourselves, and Brittney's talked a lot about her belief in herself, there was something inside us that we knew that if somebody else could do it, and they're just a normal mom, they're just a normal person, why can't that be us? We believed that. And everybody has to get to that point in their business, I think, because it's true. Any one of you can do this. I watched people on the leaders board. Brittney watched people earn the shopping spree. And now we're there because we didn't give up. And we learned everything we could.
Yeah, nobody would have ever looked at us in the beginning and said, oh, those two girls right there, they're going to be on that shopping spree. You just watch this. Nobody would have ever said that. So anybody really truly can do this. And we've listed quite a few resources that we listen to over and over. I mean, we always had a video, but I still to this day, I mean, if I'm putting my makeup on, there's a video going. I'm listening. If I'm in the car, I'm listening. I'm constantly learning, even to this day. And that is what I hear every fastest growing leader, diamond or not. Whenever somebody signs up and they're automatically watching videos, I get so excited because I know what that means. That is potential right there. Because when you're not going to do everything exactly like Eric Worre does, because I don't, but I've learned a few things from him. Sarah Robbins, same thing. Bob Heilig, same thing. Sonia Stringer, same thing. So I listen to these things over and over, and as I learn, like I glean and I pull and I just make things my own. And eventually I just got the hang of it. When you listen to something over and over and over, it's like it just starts to flow naturally. It did not come natural to us at first. This was very hard to us at first. But because we wanted it so bad and we were willing to learn a ton, then eventually we did become very good at it.
I think just constantly growing and changing and evolving as a person in your business is huge too. So we would look at the leaders board. We would look at everybody who is hitting diamond in under 12 months. And we would say, and even now we do, we're like, okay, what's Jessica Heffley doing? What's Brooke Hemingway doing? What are they doing? They're higher up on the leaderboard. We need to do what they're doing. But if people... we imitated and we made our Facebook page look like the people who were earning the shopping spree, the people who were on the leaders board, because that's where we wanted to be. So look at your pages, look at yourself and your life. And is this a representation of where you want to be? You're not there yet, but if that's where you're going, you need to copy and do what the successful people are doing. And I remember Lori Welch told me the same thing. She was nervous and scared to death to do events. And she would tell herself, I'm Sonia Dudley. I'm Sonia Dudley. And she didn't think she was Sonia Dudley, but she was just doing what Sonia did, and she was getting the same results as Sonia. So just looking at your Facebook, I think because we do so much marketing with Facebook, that's such a good place to look for you and your downline. We constantly analyze if we're not getting likes or comments on something, like why? What was wrong with this post? Why did this person's post get so many engagements? Maybe we just need more friends. Maybe we need different types of friends. Maybe we need to work on our writing or our picture taking skills. If you're not getting somewhere in your business, it's insanity to keep doing the same thing over and over. Imagine if we were still trying to go to McDonald's and recruit strangers off the street. No, we learned to connect with friends at homeschool groups, at church, build relationships, and love on people. Not just pick up anyone off the street who looks like they need Plexus, but who do we love and care about their health? And who do we want to work this business with us? Who looks like a life changer, a world shaker, an influencer? That's the one I want on my team.
Yes, absolutely. It's so funny that you say that. Yeah, we definitely are looking for different things now than we looked for in the beginning, because in the beginning, I think what we were looking for was customers, but now what we're looking for is leaders. We're looking for business builders and people who, you know, they have a lot of potential. They're ready for change, just like we were. And so, yeah, that's really good stuff. We definitely look for different things now. than we used to. Oh, another thing we analyzed was like what worked as far as building a business. Like, why did this person go silver and this didn't? You know, or how come this response to that objection worked, but this one didn't with that person? So constantly figuring out, how do I be more effective? How can I be more effective with everything that I do? I'm constantly asking questions to this day. I mean, I still ask Fallon questions probably every single day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She does. It's good. It's good. If somebody's not engaged, you need to engage your upline. Like, don't blame them. This is how I gauge who really wants to work the business. I have another level 1 on my re-entry that is calling me every other day, and you can hear it in her voice. She's hungry. She's passionate. She wants this. She's not getting what she wants right now, but she will, because she's hungry for it. And contact your upline. Don't blame them for not helping you. If you want it, you need to go get it. That's just how this is. So I forgot what else I was going to say, but it was something.
Okay, so guys, what are you going to do with this opportunity? When we say this is once in a lifetime, we really do mean that. And when I first joined and people would say that, I thought that is the most cliche thing that I am never, ever going to say. But now I get it. Like, I totally get it. When I analyze the numbers, where we're at in the market, combine that with products that every single person you know needs. Like, not just, this is not leggings, y'all. This is not bags or skincare. This is life-changing supplements that help people have a better quality of life, help people take care of their long-term health. So you combine our life-changing products with where we're at in the market. What are you going to do with this opportunity? Are you willing to put your head in the books, to listen to every training you can get your hands on until this stuff just flows naturally from you? Because you totally, totally can do this. Anybody can. If we can, you totally can, because we're no different or better than you or anybody else.
Completely agree. And what I was going to say was, my biggest way for analyzing before we close here was, how would if I was an outlooker and I was looking at Fallon Black's wall or Fallon Black's message that I just got, how would it make me feel? So if you're sending out messages, think, would you want to get that message? If you're posting on Facebook, think to yourself, would I like to see that? And I think the biggest thing is negativity, just being negative on Facebook. That was the biggest thing for me. And I'm like, why am I posting this? People don't want to read that. So just analyzing everything that you're doing as if you were someone looking in. Would you be attracted to what you're saying? Would you be attracted to what you're posting? Would you be attracted to your life? And it doesn't have to be perfect at all. My life still isn't perfect, but that's just a good way to analyze everything.
Mm-hmm. My thing on Facebook, I think, was my opinions. I see my memories now, and I'm like, woo, I had some opinions. I'm so passionate about anything I believe in, and I've just learned that I can't be that way with everything, because you're going to isolate people if you are just so strongly opinionated that people feel like you're unapproachable. So that was what I struggled with.
Yes, as we talk, I have so many more things I can talk about with y'all. And by the way, that's not how team calls used to be either. We'd be like, sit there, 15 minutes, we done. We got nothing left to say to anybody. But do you have anything else to add?
I don't think so.
All right, y'all. That's it. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye. Good night.